We've built the SVD machinery. Now let's use it. Two examples side by side. First, a clean invertible matrix where every direction stretches, then a rank 1 matrix where one direction collapses entirely. The factorization doesn't break when that happens. It gracefully exposes the null spaces, and along the way, signs will trip us up if we're careless. Quick recipe refresher. To find an SVD of matrix A, first form A transpose times A. Its eigenvalues give you the squared singular values, and its also normal eigenvectors form the columns of V. Then either eigendecompose A times A transpose to get U, or safer, compute U one column at a time using A times V sub, I equals sigma sub, I times U sub I. Finally, assemble A equals U sigma V transpose. Let's run it. Example 1. Let it be the 2 by 2 matrix with rows 4, 4, and minus 3, 3. Following our recipe, we first form A transpose times A. The top left entry is 4 squared plus minus 3 squared. That is 16 plus 9, which equals 25. The bottom right entry works out the same way, also 25. The off-diagonal entries are 4 times 4 plus minus 3 times 3, which is 16 minus 9, giving 7. So A transpose A is the matrix with rows 25, 7, and 7, 25. Now we find the eigenvalues of this symmetric matrix. The trace is 50, and the determinant is 25 squared minus 7 squared. That is 625 minus 49. Which is 576. Because the matrix has the special form with equal diagonals, its eigenvalues are simply 25 plus 7 and 25 minus 7, giving 32 and 18. Therefore, sigma 1 equals the square root of 32, and sigma 2 equals the square root of 18. Now let's find the eigenvectors of A transpose A. For lambda equals 32, we solve the matrix A transpose A minus 32 times the identity applied to V equals 0. Subtracting 32 from the diagonal of the matrix with rows 25, 7, and 7. 25 gives rows minus 7, 7, and 7, minus 7. This tells us the two components are equal. Normalizing, V1 equals 1 over the square root of 2 times the vector 1, 1. For lambda equals 18, subtracting 18 from the diagonal gives row 7, 7, and 7, 7, which forces the components to be opposite. So V2 equals 1 over the square root of 2 times the vector 1 minus 1. Assembling these as columns, V is 1 over the square root of 2 times the matrix with rows 1, 1, and 1 minus 1. And the sigma is the diagonal matrix with the square root of 32 and the square root of 18 on the diagonal. 2 factors down, 1 to go. Now for U, we could form A times A transpose, and you'd find it equals the diagonal matrix with 32 and 18 on the diagonal. So it's tempting to just write U1 equals 1, 0, and U2 equals 0, 1. But here's the trap. The sign choices in U are not free. They must satisfy A times V sub I equals sigma sub I times U sub I. Let's check. A times V1 is a times 1 over root 2 times the vector 1, 1, which gives 1 over root 2 times 8, 0. That equals the square root of 32 times 1, 0. Good. U1 is 1, 0. Now A times V2 is 1 over root 2 times 0 minus 6, which equals the square root of 18 times 0 minus 1. So U2 must be 0 minus 1, not 0 plus 1. Pick the wrong sign and your factorization simply doesn't reconstruct A. Always verify U through A times V. That was the easy case where every direction got stretched. Now let's see what happens when one direction collapses entirely. Here is example 2. The matrix A has rows 4, 3 on top and 8, 6 on the bottom. Look carefully at the rows. The second row is exactly twice the first, so the two rows are not independent. That tells us the rank is 1. The row space is just the line through the vector 4, 3. The null space, which must be perpendicular to the row space in 2 dimensions, is the line through 3 minus 4. You can check 4 times 3 plus 3 times minus 4 is 0. Now for the column side. Both columns are multiples of the vector 1, 2. So the column space is the line through 1, 2. And the left null space, perpendicular to that, is the line through 2, minus 1. 4 fundamental subspaces, all identified by inspection, before we even touch any eigenvalues. Let's confirm with the algebra. A transpose A has, in the top left, 4 squared plus 8 squared, which is 16 plus 64, equal to 80. In the bottom right, 3 squared plus 6 squared, which is 9 plus 36, equal to 45. The off-diagonal entry is 4 times 3 plus 8 times 6, that's 12 plus 48, equal to 60. So A transpose A is the 2 by 2 matrix with rows 80, 60, and 60, 45. Its trace is 80 plus 45, which is 125. Its determinant is 80 times 45 minus 60 squared, that's 3600 minus 3600, equal to 0. So the eigenvalues are 125 and 0. Therefore, sigma 1 is the square root of 125, and the sigma 2 is 0. That 0 singular value is the matrix telling you it has a null space. Now let's assemble the pieces. The eigenvector of A transpose A for lambda equals 125 points along the direction 4, 3. Normalizing, we get V1 equals 0.8, 0.6. The eigenvector for lambda equals 0 must be perpendicular, so V2 equals 0.6 minus 0.8. That's our null space direction. Next, for U, we compute A times V1. The first entry is 4 times 0.8 plus 3 times 0.6, which equals 5. The second entry is 8 times 0.8 plus 6 times 0.6, which equals 10. So A times V1 equals the vector 5, 10. And that's the same as the square root of 125 times 1 over the square root of 5 times the vector 1, 2. So U1 equals 1 over the square root of 5 times the vector 1, 2. And U2, the left null space direction, is 1 over the square root of 5 times the vector 2 minus 1. Finally, sigma is the diagonal matrix with the square root of 125 and 0 on its diagonal. Watch what the 0 does. When we multiply U sigma V transpose, the second column of U gets paired with the 0 on sigma's diagonal, and the second row of V transpose gets annihilated. So the rank 1 matrix A is fully reconstructed by sigma 1 times U 1 times V1 transpose, all by itself. That's the square root of 125 times 1 over the square root of 5 times the column 1, 2 times the row 0.8, 0.6. Now the square root of 125 divided by the square root of 5 equals the square root of 25, which is 5. 5 times the outer product of 1, 2 with 0.8, 0.6 gives rows 4, 3, and 8, 6. Exactly A. The vectors V2 and U2 are real and also normal, but they get multiplied by 0, so they contribute nothing to A. Step back and compare. Example 1 had rank 2 with 2 positive singular values, square root of 32 and the square root of 18. Its null space was 0-dimensional and the full reconstruction needed both rank 1 pieces. Example 2 had rank 1 with 1 positive singular value, square root of 125, and a single 0. Its null space was 1-dimensional and one rank 1 piece rebuilt everything. In both cases, V's columns gave an orthonormal basis for the entire domain, split into row space and null space. U's columns gave an orthonormal basis for the entire codomain, split into column space and the left null space. The number of 0 singular values is exactly the dimension of the null space. Invertibility just determines how many zeros appear in sigma. The SVD never crashes, it just records the geometry, honestly. And those zeros aren't a bug. They're the entire reason SVD powers low-rank approximation, principal component analysis, and the pseudo-inverse. Small singular values mean directions you can safely discard. Zero singular values mean directions you cannot invert. That is what we will build on next.